Hi everyone, this is a pick a card reading for your next 7 days. So we have these three wonderful groups. We have group number one right here with the blue potion, and this one is well, they're sort of grouped into three sort of categories. So we've got here moon spells for group one. So it's essentially which one you're most drawn to, because either the bottle or the card can give you a bit of an indication as to which group you're more interested in, or maybe you just like group one or group three or the number, for example. Then we have group two here with this yellow potion. This one says money spells. And then we have group three here with a green potion, and it says altar spells. So yeah, whichever one you're most interested in, that's going to be your reading. This is timeless, so whenever you click on it, it can still be for that time, and it's going to look into your next 7 days, so essentially the next week from whenever you're watching this. So that's what we have there. Timestamps will be in the description box below, so you can check those out, and then it will take you to your reading. And you can then watch your reading. Also want to mention as well that if you would like to win a free reading with me, do check out the description box below, since I do a giveaway every single month. If you would like to purchase a private paid reading, information will be in the description box below as well. They're done within 24 to 48 hours. And the last thing I want to mention is my intention bracelets are on Etsy, so I'm actually wearing a bunch of them right here. They are meditated with, they're saged, and they're there to remove obstacles and challenges from different areas of your life. They're super, super special because they are handmade by me, they're meditated with, and they're saged. And if you want to see how other people have seen results with these bracelets, check out my Etsy store. I'm wearing the love ones, so the love, soulmate, twin flame, and singles bracelets, but there's also evil eye, protection, confidence, health and happiness, finance and wealth bracelets as well. Many of you have seen results with them, so the review section really paints a better picture if you're more interested in sort of like how they work and how other people use them. There's also face masks on there as well, which are handmade. There's necklaces, anklets, crystals, pom-poms, tassels, and embroidered cards which you can put under your pillow, wallet, or your purse. So I thought I would just mention that because I love to do that on the side and share, something physical as a product with many of you as well, that I work very hard with, spiritually meditating and of course saging those items as well. Okay, so we're going to start first of all here with group number one, and I'm just going to move the other two groups to the side. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this back a little bit so I have a bit more space to actually put the cards down. Let's take away these other groups. Okay. It's just going roly-poly. Okay. Alright, so group number one. Let's have a look and see your next 7 days, what it's going to bring to you. And I'm also going to get some tarot cards out on the table as well, but let's just go through these messages first to see what I have, and then tarot I think will sort of sum everything up. So you've got here the blue potion, you've got here a coin from my decorations. We've also got here moon spells, which I'm going to go through last. But I feel like this is really going to help a lot of you as well throughout the next 7 days. So it is something that you can do. It's nice because it's like a little exercise spell thing that you can do, which is also quite nice. So let's have a look. Your next 7 days. So we've got here vulnerability. Let love be your beacon. I hope you can see those. You've got here eternal union. New love is forming. Wow, like the cards themselves really do illustrate quite a strong picture. This one here actually, interestingly enough, really reminds me of some of the patterns that we have with this card as well. It's really interesting. And then we've also got here fifth chakra, throat chakra. I did not plan this at all. I'm actually really shook because blue is the colour of the throat chakra, and wow, the card that came out for you literally represents that, and it's so interesting you've got so much blue in these cards as well. So let's start with this throat chakra card. Okay, it says here, I am committed to sharing and revealing my thoughts and feelings by being creative in my communication style and using expressive language. I express myself through talking, singing, sighing, laughing and crying, and through using my creative talents. So that's what I really feel like you're going to be doing here in the next 7 days. Is a lot is going to be happening through your communication and through your throat. Okay, so you may feel a little bit more of a desire to perhaps sing, to hum along to things, for example, talking to people. It even says sighing. So for some of you, it may also be that you're crying, you're laughing, you're trying to get your point across through communication as well, or even creative talents. Talking about things that you really love to do, or explaining how to do certain things. Your throat chakra is very, very activated over the next 7 days. All right, so that's what we're seeing here. Again, committed to sharing and revealing your thoughts and feelings by being creative in your communication style and also expressive language. Then it says at the bottom, I consciously use my senses to experience my world more fully. I see, I hear, smell and feel more, and I become more aware of my surroundings, such as the weather, aromas, people, nature, sounds and sights. And you've got a lot of nature here as well, so that's quite interesting. You may be taking a walk in nature, running, jogging, standing out in nature perhaps. So there's a lot that's connecting you to nature in the next 7 days, and there's a lot that's connecting you here to communication, which I see is very, very vital and very, very clear. Some of you may feel quite vulnerable over the next 7 days, and you may feel like you really need to get your point across to show people that you're not as weak as perhaps they think you may be. You may be feeling very, very emotional, which again, it's sort of got that water energy as well, and you kind of just want to go with the flow and express yourself and see how things go. And so that vulnerability card here is you kind of feeling like you need to come out of your shell, that kind of energy here as well. Remember, vulnerability is no bad thing at all. In fact, it's something that's really part of people's strength, so I definitely take that as a part of that. But you may feel like you're in your shell and you want to come out of it and communicate with people and tell them how you feel towards them. It's also about emotional bonds between you and family members, you and friends, you and a specific lover or partner, where you want to communicate with them. Okay, so I see a lot of communication around you, again, with people that you're involved with, for sure, on every level, really. We also have here as well, let love be your beacon. So this is really connecting you to the heart chakra as well. And we know that nature is also very much so about the heart chakra, green, right? So that's really interesting. We're connecting to 2 chakras. You're really all about the chakras here. And that's what I'm seeing, is that you're living from a place of love rather than fear, which is why I think that you're embracing your personal vulnerability. You're not afraid to be yourself. You're not afraid to communicate with those around you. So, you might be, at work, or you might be at home, and maybe before you would be a little bit scared to maybe communicate your feelings or to even sing, around other people. But here you are, totally just being yourself. You're communicating through yourself, and you might be like humming along to something, and someone would be like, oh, you never do that usually. But see, you're really coming out of your shell. You're expressing yourself a lot more. I'm not talking about introversion and extroversion. I'm also just talking about you're really being more of yourself. That's the thing. But for some of you that are introverted, this can be also just, really just coming out of it a little bit more. So that's what we've got there. And then also you've got here this card which says eternal union. Okay, so in terms of like love as well, I see lots and lots of communication over the next 7 days. Now, for those of you that are ghosted, this can also be about that telepathic communication that is going on between you and someone else. Okay, if you have a twin flame in your soulmate, and say, for example, you're ghosted by this person, blocked by this person, you have no way of getting to this person. This is also about that telepathic, right, energy that is around you, because it's also to do very much so here with what you feel. Okay, so your senses as well. So much more aware of your surroundings, aromas, right, sounds, sights, weather. So that's very much so the case as well, because some of you might be like, oh, I'm not talking to this person though, but actually you're telepathically, if you're communicating with them, and they can feel this energy, and you can also feel the energy as well. It's quite a strong reading in that sense, because it's so spiritual. Group 1, your reading is very, very spiritual, and this is what I see happening over the next 7 days, is just a lot of feeling, and really, again, coming from a place of love rather than fear, feeling your heart wholeheartedly, no pun intended, but really just being in that energy and not letting yourself get consumed by certain things, by certain individuals and certain people. This is really all about yourself and feeling very strong in that sense as well. All right, so we've got here the moon spell. And it says here, light a candle, and I'll show you this as well up close. So if you wanted to take a screenshot of it, you can do so, and you can follow the instructions. So it says here, light a candle that will conjure the energy you desire in your life, and hold it in your hand as you say aloud. Okay, so this is what you would say aloud. Daughters under this sun, sisters under this moon, on this day we receive your blessings, sun god, bold and bright, moon goddess, great and good. We thank you for the days to come, harm to none, blessings to all. Place the candle on your altar and let it burn for at least 5 minutes. When you tamp the candle out the candle flame. Visualize the blessings to come. I think that's a really wonderful exercise to do, a really nice spell. I call this a spell, obviously. So that's what we've got right there. So yeah, very, very powerful indeed. I think that that's actually a really lovely spell, because it really is about blessings, and it's not about causing harm to anyone in particular. It's really about bringing blessings also to yourself and to others around you as well. So this is interesting. This is also about acceptance for things that have happened in your past. This is also about not wishing ill against anyone necessarily. This is also about encouraging healing and having acceptance and forgiveness towards the past as well, and kind of flowing with whatever's to come next. So there's not much resistance I pick up here. In fact, this is really about you very much so feeling the love, feeling this energetic connection within yourself as well, and within your heart, and operating from that rather than resisting any strong element of that where you feel like it's something you can't control. Does that make sense? So your next 7 days are really based upon that spiritual aspect, and I think that this sun moon spell will really help as well to bring out a lot of that beautiful energy of blessings that are to come your way. So the next 7 days is quite big in terms of like your personal energy, and also connecting to your 2 chakras, and those 2 chakras really dominating your week specifically. So let's see what tarot has to give us. What do we have over the next 7 days? And also, it says here, eternal union, new love is forming. So for many of you, this is about new love also coming into your life, or a sense of rebirth to your love life in that sense as well. Okay, for those of you that are with someone, it's like a sense of rebirth. But I feel like this is, for many of you, this is new love. So we've got here the Queen of Wands. That's really beautiful. Again, you've got a lot of blue in this card. It's pretty bright. Queen of Wands is really about personality. It's also, again, about coming out of your shell, not being afraid to be who you are. This is really about you showing that, hey, look, I got a cat. I like cats. Not saying that specifically for yourself, but this is about not being afraid of the things that you like, right? This is about not being afraid of who you are. And quite frankly, showing that. Like, she's got, a sunflower. She loves sunflowers, right? It's really about her owning up to that. So you may have certain things that maybe you're like, oh, people wouldn't really like that, But here you are, really, over the next 7 days being like, yeah, I like this sports team, or I like eating kale, whatever it is, okay? I know that's like the most bizarre thing to ever say. But, it's that kind of energy of, oh yeah, I travel here. I have no shame binge watching Netflix. There's really you owning your personality and being you. And I think that's really beautiful here with the Queen of Wands. This is about you truly being yourself unapologetically. Nice energy to have. It really makes a lot of sense here, especially with the vulnerability card, especially with the let love be your beacon. This is really about loving the things that you have got around you and not being afraid of what other people think. This is you having the crown on your head and being very proud of that crown on your head. What more can I say? Okay. Oh my god, I had a feeling that this 7 of Pentacles was going to come out, because when I was saging this deck that I'm using, I had a feeling. I kept seeing the 7 of Pentacles just repeating over and over again in my mind, and it's a card that I feel gets forgotten in tarot. It's not like one of the most popular cards in tarot, let's be very honest. But it just kept coming up in my mind. So this one here is really about a lot of deep introspection, reflection. Again, it's really about understanding personal growth, personal development. That's what the next 7 days is really based upon. And of course, you've got a 7 here. 7s are all about reflection. It's also about, again, connecting with nature, connecting to yourself, and really just trying to see where you also want things to go. So you may be spending, quite a bit of time also by yourself in your own energy, thinking, okay, where should I go? How should I do this? This is also about you planning as well. So I see here some planning going on for maybe a trip, place you might want to go. Could also be a vision board, which is quite interesting, but this is also about maybe planning things that are work or educational related, because some of you might be in education. I can hear the fan, and I don't like it when I can hear the fan on here because it tends to overheat. Okay, I think it's right. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going until you're like me, like I've had enough. Okay, let's see. Tarot. It's interesting, you've got the sun moon spell, you sort of got the moon up here and you got the sun sort of peeking through there. I think that's also showing, there's always like little symbols and things like that just kind of tie everything together. Oh, there you go. King of Swords. Perfect representation of the throat chakra, communication, clarity, honesty, getting out there, trying to feel everything out, and that just goes totally with this throat chakra card, which is about creative expression. So here you are standing in your energy. Notice how you got a king and queen here as well. That really does show a lot of power. So you're going to have a lot of power over the next 7 days to essentially assert your thoughts, your feelings, like this is what I feel about this. Don't be afraid to speak up as well over the next 7 days, right? Because I see a lot of you here sort of also protecting yourself, or maybe in work environments speaking up for yourself and saying, actually I think this would be better done like this, or and just not being afraid of that. Also in terms of education as well, if someone says, what do you think about this? Don't be afraid of what other people think. You're being quite assertive here, in quite a dominant force, and I think that's actually really nice to see. So there you go. What else have we got? Ooh, Knight of Swords. So again, another quite a strong communication card. You're really not afraid to go with it, and you're like, come on horsey, we gotta go, got things to do. You're quite busy also in regards to your sort of personal life here. You're finding things to do, you're making plans, like we mentioned with the 7 of Pentacles, plans. You got a sense of direction here as well, like you know what you want to do and you know the direction in which you want to go in. You're not afraid. I like it. You're not afraid. I really like that. I like that you're not afraid and you're sort of willing to just go about and sort of do things here as well. Some of you may be dealing with an air sign, but you could be an air sign, okay, because that's the kind of energy we got here. But you have got an air sign, which means an air sign could come towards you as well. That's just something I'm seeing. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, but you could actually be the air sign. So then there's that. Let's see. Ooh. You notice how the Justice card just kind of really resembles this energy here of the person in this card, because she's draped in very similar colours. Okay, maybe this is not orange, but get my gist a little bit. Justice here is also very much so about contracts. You might be signing a specific contract, you might be doing a lot of writing. Again, totally makes sense with the throat chakra card. It's pretty much ruling your entire reading here. But you might be reading through a contract. You might very much so be looking at specifications. So some of you might be looking to maybe move jobs, or you're looking at jobs online, and so you're reading a lot of information, taking on board a lot of information. That's also Justice as well, which is quite interesting. For very, very few of you, you might be you may have some court cases or proceedings, things like that. Very, very few of you, okay, not everybody, because obviously there is more than one person watching this reading, so there's going to be a lot of people that sort of have different situations going on in their life. But Justice here really strongly showcasing, again, a lot of information, lots of words, okay, whether you're reading them, writing them, listening to them, or saying them. Just saying, okay, you've got a lot of that coming through here with Justice. This is also about resolving things as well and wanting things to be much more balanced. You've got Libra energy, so again, a lot of air energy coming through here, which I think is quite strong and for sure very, very powerful. So, next 7 days, really, a lot is happening here, and you may also be reading a lot as well. There's definitely a lot of like intellectual energy coming through. You may also be watching lots of documentaries and informing yourself, trying to learn something new. There's a lot of learning, a lot of reading, writing, speaking, throat chakra activated for sure, and also your heart chakra as well. All right, so even if you meditate on those two as well, that can be really powerful. I would definitely say that. So this is your reading, group number 1. Now, if this resonated with you, let me know in the comment section below. Tell me how you feel about it as well. Maybe it resonates already with certain things that are happening with you. And don't forget to check out the description box below as well, since I do the free reading giveaway, the private paid readings, and of course Intention bracelet store is on there as well. And definitely do check that out, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Okay, so now we're going to move to group number 2. Let me just grab these cards. All right. One second, let's grab this. All right. So, group number 2, this is your reading. Next 7 days. Let's have a look and see what's coming through for your next 7 days. This is timeless, so from whenever you're watching this, it's going to be for the next 7 days. So yeah, you get my gist. So you have chosen this group, which has the yellow potion, glitter potion. I'm going to put that right there. You've also chosen the top card, which says money spells. Okay, so we'll go through that in a minute. And also got my little decoration. So let's have a look and see what your cards here are. So we've got here make a decision, which is very interesting. You've got here clear out the old, and you've got here love and light, act with care. So to me, what's really fascinating, and I actually forgot one of the meditation cards for this, which is rather embarrassing, but let me just grab the deck and I'll do a live shuffle on camera. I don't usually forget to put, because I just don't know how that happened, but we basically missed out a card. So I've got the meditation deck here, so I'm going to do a live shuffle on camera. Let's see what card you have. La 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 la. Da, 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 da. Okay, there's your card. So it says here 6th chakra, and look at how. This is why I say there's no coincidences. Look at the color schemes there. It just goes so well with this particular card. So it says 6th chakra, 3rd eye chakra. Acknowledge spirit. I trust in a higher source and I acknowledge my direct connection with it, In the stillness, I listen for the wisdom inside, and I am open to the spirituality that is within and all around me. I know that love is the creative force. I meditate and welcome mystic truths. I am open to seeking guidance in my spiritual quests from a spiritual teacher, master, or guru. Next 7 days, you guys are going to be watching a lot of tarot readings. I'm just saying. You're also going to very much so be connected, perhaps really, to your spirituality. You may be meditating a lot. You might be daydreaming a lot. You might be seeing a lot of repeating numbers, signs, synchronicities. You guys get my gist, right? You might also be watching more spiritual content and consuming more spiritual content. So, for example, some of you might be into certain gurus. You might be like, oh, I really like watching Sadhguru on YouTube, or you may watch spiritual documentaries. You may watch spiritual movies. You may be into listening to spiritual music or meditation music. You might want to open up magazines, but those that are more spiritual. You know what I mean? So this is about changing what you consume. And again, lots of you might be like, I want to watch more spiritual content on YouTube. You know, I want to do the law of attraction. It really, that's what I'm seeing here for so many of you. Third eye chakra really means that you want to open that up and you want to be much more present by seeing things with the third eye, connecting to your third eye, and being much more, what's the word? Being able to judge situations a lot stronger as well. That's something that's really coming through. So that's what I see here with love and light, act with care, is that there's a lot of emphasis going to your third eye. And some of you might really be meditating with your third eye as well. Meditating on your third eye. Also, I see the color purple being very, very strong here. Okay, so you may be sort of like keeping amethyst with you. You might be really into lavender. You might also be wearing a lot of purple as well. You may be eating fruits or vegetables that are quite purple. So, you know, for example, let me just give you an example, right? Aubergines. You might be into grapes. You know, just in a very like subtle manner. I know it sounds really bizarre, but there's a lot of purple around you, and that's what I'm seeing. I know it's really bizarre, but just, you know, hang with me for a second. A lot of purple. Okay, so that's this message here, really very much so complete. And then you've also got as well, clear out the old. Okay, so I see here a lot of clearing your space, organizing your space, getting rid of things that are just old and you feel like you just don't need them anymore. It's taking up a lot of space. This also very much so is about things in your mind that are taking up a lot of space, right? Things that maybe you really need to heal from. So that's also very interesting with the whole idea of amethyst, right? And also meditation, taking care of yourself on a spiritual level. This is about sort of clearing out those things in your mind that have been just staying there for ages and ages. So clearing out the old on a spiritual level, and also clearing out the old in a physical way as well, which can mean clearing out certain clutter that you have, things you maybe have in the attic if you have an attic. This can also be going through your phone or your computer and clearing out documents that are just taking so much space, you know, things like that. So that's what we are seeing there with this particular message. And then you've also got here as well, oh, and by the way, you've got here the number 5, and 5s are all about change as well. So, you know, that makes a lot of sense there. Make a decision here with the number 11, okay? So maybe seeing a lot of repeating signs as well. So it's just something to mention because a lot of people see 1111 very often. And so make a decision here is also about making perhaps some financial decisions. That's what I see, is that many of you may be making financial decisions where you might be thinking, should I invest into this particular business? So over the next 7 days, you might be like, okay, should I invest my money in this particular fund? Should I save this money? You're really thinking about where to put your money. Money is on your mind. You may also be thinking about, how can I manifest a really strong job? Like something that is my dream job. How can I do that? And so a lot of you here are focused on clearing out the old, perhaps also healing. You know, I just want to say that, you know, sometimes Bill Gates also does, he has said this before as well, that a cluttered desk is a cluttered mind. I mean, yes, I have a lot of things on my table, but, you know, it's an organized mess, is what I would say. But yeah, just basically I see here you doing a lot of organizing, sorting, trying to put things where you can, where you want them to be. So yes, and you know that yellow potion here really also represents to me this sort of like flowing abundance as well. A lot of focus on richness, but I wouldn't just say it's all about money. It's also about how you feel from within, because a lot of you want to also manifest peace. Okay, so you're focusing on richness over the next 7 days. This richness can also be in terms of what you're eating, what you're drinking, right? Trying to maybe clean up your diet, trying to clean up your maybe morning routine where you're like, okay, I might just do a bit of yoga in the morning, or I might do a bit of meditation. And for those of you that really just don't want to do any of that, you may be thinking, okay, deep breathing. Let me start my morning off with just some really good affirmations, things like that, because I feel like you're going to get into this sort of like spiritual little groove that I'm picking up on, especially with these cards here as well. Okay, so yeah, we have here very much so, in the stillness, I listen for the wisdom inside and am open to the spirituality that is within me and all around me. So you're really trying to tap into what's inside of you, what's around you as well. Being very mindful, that's what I would say, especially with this card. You've got a lot going on here. Mindfulness is the big thing I pick up. Love and light, a lot of people when they meditate as well, they focus on light, they focus on either their breathing or they focus on their body, So it says here, act with care, which is about you taking care of yourself over these next 7 days in lots of different ways, as we saw here. But yeah, there's definitely something where you're thinking like, okay, what should I do with my money? So there's that sort of thing happening. I will say that the more you focus on spirituality, the more you focus on yourself and trying to sort of clear up your space, whether it is physically or spiritually or both, you will start to find these answers. Your third eye will be able to see and sort of give you those answers that you're looking for as well. Okay, so the money spell, and I'm also going to pull tarot as well for your reading as well. So the money spell, it says here, make your own money bag. So I'm going to hold this up like this in a minute, and you can screenshot it, but I just need to read it. So it says, to invite powerful changes into your life and attract good fortune during a waxing moon, prepare a tiny green pouch filled with basil and mint, 3 cinnamon sticks, 1 silver dollar. Not everybody, of course, lives in the US. What I would say is silver coin. I'd probably put in a pound coin because that's the currency we have here, although it's not silver, but I think something along the lines of that would probably be good, even if it's not silver, like a pound or a euro, for example, you get my gist. So, yep. And a green stone. So you can put like let me see what I have here as a demonstration. Well, I haven't really got a green stone, but say for example, if you have a green crystal or a green, green stone, you guys know what I mean, right? A green stone, hold the pouch over cinnamon or jasmine. How interesting, right? Jasmine, lavender. So yeah. Hold the pouch over cinnamon or jasmine incense and say this spell. Okay, so it's incense. The moon is a silver coin, this I know. I carry lunar magic with me everywhere I go. Blessings upon thee and me as my abundance grows. Carry this power pouch with you as you go about your day, and soon blessings will shower down upon you. Okay, so I think actually using a silver coin is probably best. So if you live in the UK, I would say a round coin is probably best. So like a 10 pence would probably do the job just well. If you live in other countries, silver coins, okay? I think that's probably best because that's what it mentioned here. This moon is a silver coin, so I think it's best to connect it to that. But if you don't, okay, you can use what you have. Anyways, so that's what we've got, and this is just me trying to interpret it in the best way possible, but sometimes we kind of have to use what we have as well. Not everybody does have a silver dollar. Okay, so that's what we've got there. I think this can be a really powerful way of attracting good fortune because you've got some really strong herbs as well and scents which can really strengthen the intention that you have for the law of attraction, and also it helps with lunar magic. So a good time to do this really is also, okay, not just when there is a waxing moon, but also during either a full moon or a new moon as well. Okay, so just saying. So that can be really great, and that can give you some time to also sort of like prepare things if you want to. I always say as well, if you don't have all of the items at hand and you say, for example, oh, I only have a pink rock, or a pink crystal, for example, I would say use what you have, because the intention is where the power is. Okay, you don't need to say to yourself, oh no, I haven't got a silver coin, so I can't do it, and then feel bad. Use what you have. The intention is the most powerful thing. Remember also that most people do law of attraction. You don't need a single thing for that except for yourself. So always know that as well. The intention is the most powerful aspect. Okay, so let's see what else we have here. Gonna go with tarot. All right, let's see. La 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 la. Wheel of Fortune. Wow. What did we just talk about, right? The make your own money bag, which was very much so to attract. Let me just grab this. To attract good fortune. Literally says that right there. So yeah, there's definitely something in regards to money where you want to make the right choice and the right decision. This Wheel of Fortune here is really showing that you're thinking about money. You either want to attract it, or you're thinking about where to put your money, invest it, or how you can attract more money to do the things that you want to do. So this Wheel of Fortune here is really quite a strong indicator of money, and it's also showing the stronger you are spiritually, the more you practice spirituality as well, the more you will be feeling more decisive as to where you want to put your money, and the more you understand the right way to go about it. Does that make sense? Because spirituality can really also sort of like strengthen your decisions. It can make you feel like, actually, no, I don't think this is the right thing to do. And it can align you more to your gut and your nervous system, which can also help to provide you the correct answers. And because sometimes we can be so indecisive, but spirituality can help to sort of strengthen that, to be like, no, actually, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that, and actually, no, this is going to be what I want to make happen. So that's very, very interesting there. Wheel of Fortune it's over the next 7 days, you're aligning more to yourself, which is going to allow you to make the best decisions possible for yourself, and it's combined with everything that you're doing here. La 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 la. Do, 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 do. Queen of Swords. Look at that. Very, very communicative with those around you. This is also about setting very, very healthy boundaries with those around you, whether it is a romantic person, whether it's a friend, it's a family member. You are not taking BS from anybody, okay? You're looking right through them and you're seeing people for who they are. Remember, spirituality also strengthens this particular aspect. Wow, this is a very spiritual reading, for sure. In fact, so far, even group 1 was very, very spiritual. But this Queen of Swords here is a very, very strong energy, which is showing direction and guidance from the divine. Okay, so for those of you that are very religious and you believe in God, those of you that believe in the divine, you believe, that there is this divine power that is guiding us in our life. It's literally showing you so connected to the divine, and the divine is guiding you, but it's also a way of the divine also saying that you have power, you have control, you have so much strength and capacity to move things along, to do things. And that's really quite strong here with this Queen of Swords, is that you've got so much power and you're really moving in that direction, and it's feeding your confidence a lot. So it's almost like having faith in the divine is giving you so much, is giving a huge boost of confidence to perhaps stand up for yourself in a way that you perhaps never thought you could. A lot of independence here as well, where I feel like you're not necessarily relying on others in the next 7 days. So it's like you're taking charge for things by yourself. A lot of independence, which I think is quite interesting. It could be maybe spending more time by yourself, which I think is also interesting. And also you might be reading a lot, writing a lot, maybe teaching someone to do something. Okay, 7 of Pentacles, lots of personal reflection that's happening over the next 7 days. I'm just going to say, okay, this card came up for group number 1's reading, and also the counterpart of the Queen of Swords came out also in the group number 1 reading, and the group number 1 reading was also very spiritual. So for those of you that have time and you want to check out group number 1's reading, I think I would recommend it. I don't always, recommend going to see another group reading, but in this case I would. I feel like they're linked together, so that might be worth it. If you have time, do check it out. Timestamp is in the description box below for that. So yeah, a lot of reflection here over the next 7 days thinking, okay, how can I do this? How can I do that? Some of you might also be doing gardening. It's just something that's coming through there. Or you might be thinking, you know, I'd really like a house plant. I'd like to look after, you know, a plant, nourish it, care for it, talk to it, sing to it. That helps, you know, them to flourish as well. But yeah, there's a lot of that energy coming through. Also, Ace of Wands here, you may be very, very creative. You might be thinking, okay, I want to get into DIY or crafting and things like that. Also, you've got here the Six of Wands as well. This is quite interesting because the Six of Wands here shows a sense of celebration. So I'm not sure exactly what you're celebrating, but you may be celebrating something. You might also be celebrating yourself and your own personal growth and development, which we see also with the Seven of Pentacles there as well. There's a sense of celebration here. Oh, and you've also got the Four of Pentacles. So this is you wondering what you can do also with that financial aspect. See, this is also you reflecting upon money. So you're reflecting on money and what to do with it. You're sort of sitting on it, if that makes any sense. Like, you know what they say, like when you're trying to make a decision, you like sleep on the decision or sit on the decision. That's what I'm kind of like entailing, is that you're sort of sitting on things and sort of sleeping on a decision here as to what to do with money. And I think that spirituality will help to open up your eyes as to what to do, because some of you might be like, oh, I want to invest. Some of you might be like, no, I want to keep it towards myself, or maybe I should you know, just save it, or yeah. Some of you might also be wondering how to attract and manifest more of it into your life for more personal stability, in which case, of course, we know that this particular spell can really help, and of course spirituality can help as well. So that's really interesting, but there's basically, you're thinking a lot about your financial aspect and richness, also in terms of spirituality, richness in terms of your personal life as well, with sort of crafting and perhaps celebrating something here, which I think is interesting. Reading, writing, there's a lot of richness. Remember, richness is never just money. It's also lots of other aspects combined as well, which I think is really important. But for a lot of you, you're wondering and also worrying about sort of the financial aspect of things and how you can really improve those aspects also in your life as well. Anyway, so group number 2, this is your reading. I hope this reading resonated with you. If it did, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this reading, how it makes sense to your situation. Also in the description box below there's information for private paid readings, free reading giveaway, and of course my intention items, which are on Etsy as well, as I have showed many of you in the beginning, but that's all there, and I hope that you take care. Alright, so let's move everything to the side because we're going to go now to group number 3. Okay. Let me just grab these cards. They just don't want to come into my hands. They're like, no, we're going to be stubborn. All right. Yeah, they just don't want to stay, these ones. It's kind of funny actually. All right, there we go. Moonlight will make you stay. Alright, group number 3, hello, how are you guys doing? So this is for your next 7 days. This is a timeless reading, so from whenever you're watching this, it's going to be for your next 7 days. And you have chosen this really, actually very beautifully coordinated pile, which is very yellow and green, or, you know, gold. Green and gold, yellow and gold, with accents of blue as well. It really matches quite nicely together. So this is the potion. Let's put it right there. Coin from my decoration, and you have chosen this top card here says alter spells. Okay, so we will look into this after I look into these oracle cards. We're also going to get tarot out as well. So let's see what we have for the next 7 days. So your first card here is contemplation. Renewal of peace, and you've got here soul fragments. Number 33. Sorry, I just thought, I swear, I just thought like I saw the number 33 there, but it actually says 13, but still you've got a number 3 there as well. Anyways, so I was just like, whoa. So yeah, it says soul fragments, balance will be restored, which I think is really interesting actually with the rest of these cards. It makes so much sense, doesn't it? And then we've also got here this card from the Chakra Wisdoms cards, and it says third chakra, solar plexus, inner harmony. My mind is blown right now because what I'm seeing is a very, very direct link between all of these cards. There's such a strong message here of peace. There's a strong message of harmony. There is a very, very strong message of rest, retreating, just relaxing, getting yourself together, feeling good, and just zen. That's what I'm seeing here, really truly is, which I think is so interesting. So let's start with this message here, okay? It says here, inner harmony. I trust my innate wisdom and respond accordingly. I do not allow my mind to create doubt or to override my strong gut feelings. I accept and express my feelings whilst accepting the feelings of others. I am at peace with myself and those around me, and I do not harbour unrealistic expectations of myself or of others. I release the need to control others. See, I think that's really important. I release the need to control others. Maybe for some of you, you've been trying to sort of like control, not in a manipulative way, but you've been trying to perhaps make somebody understand your worth and maybe try and, like somehow get that across to them or tell them like, hey, look, I am worthy, like I'm a really good person, pay attention to me, hello. And so this year, over the next 7 days, is you realizing actually that you're releasing the need to control others, and that actually brings the scales at a much more balance, right? What do we see here? Balance will be restored. So it's like when you have this renewal and you are taking care more of yourself and you're resting and you're not trying to force things to happen, you're not just going out there running, chasing, the scales automatically become balanced, as we see with the number 33, right? It's 3 and 3, it's balanced on both sides. So that's really important. And soul fragments as well is really about restoring those aspects, those bits that you're always giving to other people, as well, is like bringing that all back to you. You are whole, you are one, you are complete, right? Within yourself. And so that I think is really important here. In many ways, this is you being at peace with yourself. Look at this little baby just sleeping, right? Like they often say like, oh, I slept like a baby last night. I feel like many of you over the next 7 days, there's going to be some nights, at least 1 or 2 or 3 nights where you're going to be like, I really slept like a baby. I slept in peace. It may take, a few days to get to that point, but for many of you that are really trying, you will get there. And that's what I'm seeing here, is just this sense of peace. Like, you know what, I don't need to fight for someone's attention. I don't need to go after that person. I feel peace, I feel harmony, I feel good within myself, right? This contemplation here over the next few days can also very much so be about sort of like thinking about things, trying to put this into place, right? So that you're sort of in this sort of rhythm of taking care more of yourself than always taking care of others, if that makes sense, because sometimes you do have to put yourself first. Okay, so yeah, I do not allow my mind to create doubt or to override my strong gut feelings. But here you are thinking, right? But thinking in quite a good way, where you're not allowing everything to take over you. So there's contemplation, right? You are thinking, but you're not completely letting things take over you, and accepting and expressing your feelings whilst accepting the feelings of others. So that shows here the balance, right? It's like you're accepting yourself, you're accepting others. You're not trying to force a specific narrative. So it says here, my personal power is free from the ego and from any desire to manipulate or exploit situations or people. The foundation of all my thoughts and actions is trust in myself. So that's where it is. For a lot of you, you're just like, you know what? I'm not going to try and prove to that person I'm worthy. They can realize that by themselves. I don't need to prove that to them. That's something that they will eventually realize with their own karma and their own action and their own intent. So for those of you that really want to strengthen this particular aspect, meditating on your solar plexus can really help you a ton, okay? And that can be very, very powerful. To me, this also represents the sun as well, trying to get that solar energy. So if you can, if you've got the sun, 5 to 10 minutes, trying to just get the sun on your face or on your body. Remember, there are certain hours of the day where the sun can be very harsh, so be careful. But getting a bit of that vitamin D and solar energy touching your skin as well can be really, really amazing, and it can be very powerful indeed. But obviously do so in a safe way. That's what I would say. In the UK we don't really get much sun, so when it does come out, it's like we're worshipping the heavens. It literally feels like that. But yeah, that's what I would say here, is just letting the sun sort of like touch you or kiss your skin can be really lovely as well. So rest, retreat, meditate. There's a sense of peacefulness that I really pick up here over the next 7 days. Or at least you're trying to get to that point, right? And figuring out, okay, how can I create more peace for myself? How can I create this safe energy? And one of the affirmations I think is just so, so beautiful is saying to yourself, I am safe. I am home, because you are home within yourself, and you are also safe within yourself, right? So I am safe, I am home. Those are beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And you will find that when you say those affirmations, those around you as well can start to really feel your energy, right? Look at this. They're like feeling the energy, and they're sort of looking on as well, but also respecting your peace, respecting you as well, right? I think that's really interesting. Yeah, there you go. So let's look into this altar spell. I'm also going to get tarot cards out as well. Oh wow. This is actually a blessing meditation. I didn't even realize this. I just shuffled the cards out, and 3 different ones actually did come out, as you saw for each of the piles. But this is a blessing one. Okay, amazing. So I'm going to hold this up towards the end after I've read it, and then you can also screenshot it if you want to, and sort of like keep it for yourself. Let me read it first, okay? Blessing meditation. Sit in a comfortable position in front of your serenity altar and meditate. For those of you that don't have an altar, facing east can really help you. All right, so that's just a little tip that I have. Or lighting a candle in the direction of east can really help as well. But for those of you that do have an altar, you can meditate there. Think about your blessings. What are you grateful for at this moment? Okay, so when you do and you have gratitude, it can help the universe bring more to your table. And the more you are in a sense of peace, the more the universe will be like, all right, the energy is clear, I can bring things to you. All right, so gratitude is very powerful. What are you grateful for at this moment? There is a powerful magic in recognizing all that you possess. Breathe steadily and deeply, inhaling and exhaling slowly for 20 minutes. Then chant. Okay, so here's the chant. Great Goddess, giver of all the fruits of this earth, of all bounty, beauty, and well-being, bless all who give and receive these gifts. I am made of sacred earth, purest water, sacred fire, and wildest wind. Blessing upon me, blessing upon thee, Mother Earth and Sister Sky. So mote it be. Hold on, my nail's in the way. All right, so that's what we've got there. It's interesting, isn't it? Because you've got a lot of nature here as well, and you've got this sort of fiery energy as well, and this sort of like electric current here. You've got nature here, and again, you've got the sky as well coming through there, which really is connecting also to this card as well. And interestingly enough, sacred fire as well. You've got this really strong solar energy card as well, which really reminds me of the sun. So you've got a lot of elements, essentially. We're connecting to all the elements here, also with the element here of wind too. So I think that's quite powerful. Also, the other thing here is about being at peace within yourself and within your heart. This is the heart chakra potion. So over the next 7 days, I feel like there's a lot of peace here where your heart chakra is opening up, and you may also take a walk in nature. You might go out for a walk, go in a forest or maybe a park, sit on grass, or put your feet on grass, for example. You might, be around trees and plants and things like that. Okay, I just see that can really also help you to open up your heart chakra. Also, believe it or not, plant-based diets help as well, because they're plant-based and you're eating that as well, can really help to open up your heart chakra. And I feel like a lot of you are doing this, where you're becoming more at peace with yourself. And so a lot of you here are also connecting to nature over the next 7 days. So just saying that as well. Okay, so a lot of you are actually inviting blessings over the next 7 days by doing this, and I feel like a lot of you are going to be doing this, which is why I see it happening. Okay, and also you've got that green potion as well, which is very much so about the heart chakra because it's green, so that's really interesting. Let's go to your last part here, which is the tarot card. So you've got the Nine of Wands. So see, this is just about sort of reflecting, but in a very peaceful manner. This is about thinking about the things that you want to do and just not really forcing anything, you know, sort of staying with your thoughts and your ideas and not kind of forcing things to happen necessarily, but just letting things naturally flow, letting things naturally occur, naturally allowing things to progress as well. I think that's so, so beautiful. You know, Nine of Wands can also you at times feel you being at times, no, hold on a second. You at times feeling like things are a little bit incomplete, but I feel like that Nine of Wands is showing you that actually, you know what, even with all the amazing things that you do have, you can still be sort of grateful with those aspects. So there's a sense of gratitude there. So I see a lot of gratitude here over the next 7 days, and I also see here just a lot of thinking, but in a way that's actually productive rather than it consuming you and making you so emotional to the point where you're having a mental breakdown. You've also got the Fool here as well. Okay, so you're feeling pretty uplifted, and again, solar energy, right? As we see here with the sun, your solar plexus, really, third chakra is opening up quite strong. The Fool is also spontaneous energy. You know, you might think to yourself like, okay, you know, I've been resting quite a lot, I'm going to go out and do this, or going to go out into nature, going to take a walk. So you may be spontaneous, but not in a detrimental way. Spontaneous where you're like, okay, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to, you know, but also a lot of rest here as well. So you've got here balance will be restored. So that is the Six of Pentacles with the scales as well, right? 3 and 3 on each side, right? See what I did there? Because you got number 33, and we know that, you know, 3 and 3, it's balanced. So you got 3 pentacles on one side, 3 pentacles on the other side. Boom, right? Tarot likes to speak in ways too. So you've got that really sort of balanced energy as well. You're going to feel very balanced over the next 7 days. I mean, look, the first few days, like I mentioned, might be a little bit difficult, and it's sort of like you trying to figure out how you can do that. But then I see here you sort of coming into this routine and actually then starting to feel more balanced and starting to feel like, okay, you know what, I feel so much better within myself. I feel more confident. I'm going to rest more. I'm going to maybe take a nap. I'm going to retreat. I'm going to, so some of you might take a retreat, for example. For example, some of you might choose to go to a spa. Not everybody, but many of you may choose to go to a spa. It's a select few, that's what I would say. Because interestingly enough, the Judgment card also reminds me of a spa. I don't know why, it just does. I mean, in a pandemic, not really sure it's the most ideal thing. But you may choose to make a spa at home, for example, where you choose to maybe run a bath or have a really relaxing shower. You may choose to maybe do like some nice nourishing foot treatments for yourself, or just looking after yourself and your body. So, you know, you don't necessarily have to go out somewhere. You can create that environment maybe also at home. But that's really interesting. That just reminded me of, like, I want to say it wrong, but like the Roman baths. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Anyways, that just really reminded me, that imagery. Judgment here is also really about taking care of yourself, looking after yourself, and praying as well, which I think is quite interesting here. Perhaps to your spirit guides, perhaps to the universe. But knowing that they are there to protect you. And also Ace of Swords here is about taking action as well. So you're taking action towards this. And I also see here communication, truth, and just you reading and speaking. And I know that's like the most vague thing in the world, like, oh, over the next 7 days you're going to be speaking, over the next 7 days you're going to be reading. But this is about really taking action towards your goals and reading up on them and doing a lot of research. That's what I see as well. Could you imagine if I was like, yeah, over the next 7 days you guys are going to be eating some meals, you're going to be speaking to people, you're going to be breathing some air, and you're also going to be drinking some water. And I'll be like, that's your prediction. But yeah, that's, you know, That's what I'm seeing there with the Ace of Swords. There's a lot of like that researching energy as well, which of course is coming through quite strong. But I see a lot of rest here. And some of you might be thinking, but Moonlight, I have work to do. But I see here that you're finding that work-life balance as well, or that resting balance alongside maybe being busy at the same time. Remember, 3 and 3, gotta keep things balanced. For those of you that have been in difficult relationships, or maybe you're struggling to find the balance in that particular situation because it's maybe not so equal, you're not chasing after this as much. That's what I'm seeing. You're trying to make things as balanced as possible because you're like, I can't keep chasing after this. It's ridiculous. The other person should also be putting in effort. They're clearly, perhaps not doing as much, but here you are finding that balance. Mainly for those of you in situationships, okay? But yeah, there's a balance here, especially if you are married and you have a family and things like that. There's this balance that I see here also as well between you and your family or your children. You're finding that balance, but also taking care of yourself is the big priority over the next 7 days, is what I'm seeing. So take care of yourself. So this is your reading. If this resonates with you, let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Just let me know, what you do think about the reading and if it helps you in any way, shape or form. Also, as well, do check out the description box below for information on private paid readings, free reading giveaway, and of course my intention items, which are on Etsy. And do take care, everyone. Links are in the description box below. Bye!